Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. Help me retire my parents in 2024 by consider subscribing here on the channel. The ad revenue going right their way. Today's episode, we have some Arnold Classic Physique updates. Rafael Brandao versus andrewjacked. Could we see this in the top three? As well as wesleyvissers getting ready for the Arnold Classic Ohio. And also Tonio Burton getting ready for the New York Pro. So if you're interested in any of these stories, definitely watch the rest of the video. But let's go ahead and jump right into, we have Rafael Brandao sharing a post Christmas physique update. And from this physique update, I did see some people comparing him to Samson Dauda. And I think that that is going to be a very interesting showdown. I think it's going to be a great comparison. Now, I would say that with the year that Raf has had off to improve his physique, I think it's going to put a lot of excitement into that showdown between him and Samson and him and andrewjacked. I think that is going to be the big test for this Arnold Classic is, can Raf beat someone like andrewjacked, and could he maybe even beat someone like Samson Dauda? That's what we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen, around 9.5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic USA. Moving into andrewjacked, showing two videos, two physique updates for us around, pre-Christmas, and then also one just today doing some bent over chest supported rear delt flies. What a phenomenal piece of machinery. I wish I had something like this at my gym here at the lab, the exclusive, the private gym here in Northern California. But from what we can see here, andrewjacked continues to look like he's within striking distance of being stage ready. Now, I would like to see him do something like a full routine, maybe him and he's got like underwear or something, boxers. I'd like to see a little bit more of his physique, but all in all, we're getting a good idea of what to expect from him. And I would say that the story for this Arnold Classic is going to be, is the Arnold committee going to go with a more big freaky look with Samson, or are they going to go for someone who's complete and doesn't have any flaws and is just conditioned to the bone? And that's where you're going to see someone like an andrewjacked come up through the ranks, or someone like a Hadi Chupin continue to be dominant as he has continued to be over the last few years. That is going to be my big question for the Arnold committee, is what are they looking for? And I've mentioned it in other videos about what the criteria is at this past Olympia for the Open and for the Classic, and kind of how that goalpost has been continuing to change over the years. And for me, as someone that's a commentator in the sport, it's very interesting to see how the criteria at these top echelon, the elite tier shows continues to kind of adjust over the years. So again, andrewjacked physique updates, very exciting to see him continuing with the transparency of his physique updates. wesleyvissers sharing some back shots, a back double and a back lat spread, getting ready for the Arnold Classic UK. I do believe he's also in the Arnold Ohio. I'd have to recheck, but just in case, he's definitely doing the Arnold UK. And as I can see in the comment sections, I'm going to agree with so many of you. There is a huge crime why this guy does not place higher at the Olympia. And again, this comes down to what the criteria is for the Mr. Olympia. And I would say that Wesley brings a very, very unique look to that top 10, where he doesn't really fit in very well with someone like a Chris Bumstead or someone like a Breon Ainsley. He's kind of in the middle. He has a lot of classic look, but also a lot of muscle. So that is kind of my take on Wesley. Moving into, shout out to Daniel over at Bodybuilders Without Borders, sharing or resharing a Darren Farrell physique update as he's getting ready for the Arnold Classics as well. Around 251 pounds, fasted, so you have to assume that these are morning pictures. And I remember seeing this guy do was it last year's Ireland Pro? It used to be a 212 show. I don't know if it's still 212 or not, but they definitely have classic. And I thought that he looked phenomenal. He's one of these big names over in what do you call it? Britain, United Kingdom's Ireland. And from his physique updates, he looks like he's another one of these guys that's within striking distance of getting ready for these shows. He's definitely not holding on to any excess body fat or body weight, and overall just looking really sharp and really phenomenal. So I'm excited to see this guy. Not sure where he's going to land in the lineup, but best of luck for him doing well at his upcoming show, the Arnold. Now, Patrick Moore was one of these guys I thought was going to sneak into the Arnold Classic. I'm going to say now that he is definitely not going to get a secret invite for that show, although he does look quite impressive, and I'm excited to see what kind of improvements he's made in this last year. We haven't seen him since the 2023 Arnold Classic, where he did not place where a lot of people thought he could have, and I'm sure he wanted to place higher as well. So expect him to do, I would say, an earlier show. I don't know if he'll be ready for the New York Pro in time, but I think that that would be a good show for him to test himself against all the guys coming out of the Arnold Classics. So best of luck to Patrick Moore. Tonio Burton, the reigning, the defending, the current Men's Open New York Pro champion, coming in to defend his title around 13 weeks out from the New York Pro, and he has confirmed that that show he will be doing. And actually, I would think that Tonio would be a very exciting add-on to the Arnold Classic if we have people dropping out like we did last year. You remember we lost a lot of people at the New York or at the Arnold Classic last year. Then they had to raise the money quite a bit, and then Nick Walker jumped in. So you could expect something like that happening this year. I'm sure a lot of these guys were somewhat prepared for this, so they should be relatively in shape and ready to compete here. But you never know, ladies and gentlemen. But Tonio looks phenomenal. Tony looks very, very sharp. This guy's very consistent, and I'm expecting him to come into the New York Pro and put on a good show for everyone interested in watching that show. And last but certainly not least, I wanted to give a plug to Michaelaaycock, a top, I believe it was a top 6 women's bodybuilding Olympian. And she is around 8 weeks post Olympia. She's put on 17 pounds since her stage weight, and she still looks quite in shape, very still conditioned, a lot of volume, a lot of density. She really does bring a very unique look to the women's bodybuilding stage, especially at the Olympia caliber. You've got to be the perfect balance of everything. And, you have certain women in that division that have a much different look than what Michaela has. So she really does stand out, and whether or not the judges are going to reward or punish that is something we will continue to see in the coming years. But congratulations to her on her phenomenal Olympia contest. And of course, that is the stories for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed both videos. Consider subscribing and helping me financially retire my parents in 2024 with a subscription here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.